So, welcome to this great event where we are showing our new TAD1346GE engine. With me today I have the engine itself, and I have Erik Lindkvist, the project manager for engineering. Welcome, Erik.
Thank you.
So, let's start. What's the news?
Now, it's a lot about power. This engine is a dual-speed engine, and it's capable of delivering 500 kVA at 1500 RPM prime. And we believe that this offer is a very good one for the 500 kVA power nodes.
Great. So more power, dual speed as always from Penta. Great. But an important factor always, fuel consumption. Can you please tell us a bit how you have worked with the fuel consumption with this product?
Of course. Now, fuel consumption is a key priority for us at Volvo Penta. And we have actually been able to reach a 4 to 5% reduction in fuel consumption compared to the current offer that we have here. And the way that we did that is to choosing the optimal hardware for the application. I should mention here that we have the new turbocharger. We have new injectors and pistons that are mounted beneath here. And not only that, we have also undertaken the optimization of the performance in several different steps in order to achieve a good balancing between the different performance characteristics.
Excellent. I'm happy to hear those great numbers, Erik. Another thing, with this product, we turn to the standby markets, and we also turn to the unregulated markets. Can you please elaborate a bit? How is this corresponding to the environmental care that's famous for Penta?
It really is one of the core values for us, environmental care. And the implication here is that we have high set targets for emissions. And I should mention that as a result of this engine is actually delivering emissions that are compliant to Europe Stage 2, even though the product is intended for unregulated markets. And not to forget it as well, that it's also capable of handling different fuels, including HVO.
Okay, and that's really good. You still meet the emissions and service intervals, etc.
Yeah.
I guess. Awesome. I also mentioned this standby markets or emergency applications. I mean, in those cases, the load acceptance is super important. How and what have you done to work with this?
Now, this factor is always very important when it comes to all the calibration work that we've done on the engine. And load acceptance is, of course, the amount of load that the engine can handle increased at a certain time. Now, what we've been able to achieve is that it's capable of meeting the G3 class and the ISO 8528 standard, which is the highest one.
Great. So another thing, of course, is the financials, TCO, the OPEX. Can you please elaborate a bit how you have considered this during the development?
Now, the total cost of ownership is central to us. Apart from the fuel consumption reduction that I spoke about in the beginning there, which of course will have an impact, we have also done a fair amount of work securing the high levels of serviceability and maintainability that we at Volvo Penta are famous for. And also the installation and the simplicity of installation is something that we have kept in mind. And for instance, when the engine is delivered, it's when you order it with this baby here, the cooling package, which is new for this product, then it's pre-assembled with the engine using transport brackets that are mounted and then removed after installation is finished.
Okay, so great. It eases the installation, of course, a lot. So it's a great job you have done. Another thing when it comes to important features, besides TCO or total cost of ownership and the load acceptance, there is size. Can you please explain a bit what's the difference from size and weight compared to the previous product?
This offer is actually very much more compact than the current one that we have. We're looking at some 20% reduction in weight and also 25% reduction in size. And we really believe that this offer is a very appealing one to the genset builders for this reason.
Amazing. So you have, or I mentioned earlier that this will end up in several different markets, unregulated markets, in standby and emergency application. That means that it will also end up in different environments. It will end up in hot climates, in cold climates, in dusty environments, etc. How have you secured the performance with all these environments?
Of course, that's central to our testing procedures to handle different types of environments. Actually, this engine itself is what we use to verify the cold start performance, and that's the reason for having a lot of probes and cables connected to it. But the real challenge here, when you have this compact solution with a high power, is to secure the capability of handling high temperatures. And for that reason, we chose the updated cooler that we were looking at before here. And as well, what we've done is done a thorough work in securing the good thermal performance as a function of use in this one.
Excellent. So you mentioned earlier that you basically have reduced the size with 1/4. How can you still maintain or have the serviceability and maintainability with that small footprint?
Now, most of the attention has been put on enhancing performance, of course. But having said that, we have still been able to keep the serviceability high and up to the standards that Volvo Penta has set. For instance, securing proper physical access to the main service points is one of the issues that we have secured.
Yeah, great. So I feel confident.
Cool.
So another thing, I mean, Volvo Penta is known for great robustness. You have removed a lot of weight, you have removed a lot of the size, but still have a lot of power. How do you secure the robustness that you keep that with this product?
Quality is key at Volvo Penta, which you are getting into here. Now, and the way that we have carried this forward is to perform an extensive durability and reliability verification program. What we've done is that we've done a fair amount of endurance testing on it, and also field testing in relevant applications out on the field. But the key here is that the load profiles, which we use for these testing procedures, is exceeding the majority of the applications out on the market. So this one is really up to the standards when it comes to quality and reliability.
So basically you beat up the engine in test cell to make sure it lasts in real life.
For sure.
That's good. So with those words, I thank you, Erik, for sharing all the details with this great new D13 product. And I thank you for listening in and hope to see you soon again.